judge thinks the prosecutor's argument is ridiculous and totally shuts him down. The reason? The defendant didn't commit any crime, and he was arrested and thrown in jail for no reason by the cops. You're gonna be really curious to find out why this happened, and you won't want to miss how the judge reacts to it.
Make an allegation, cops go boom and just stop, do whatever they want without. No. Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Officers were dispatched to a Holiday Inn in Harris County, Texas, in response to a disturbance. The caller reported that 2 white males left the property, one in an F-150 and one in a Mitsubishi. When the officer arrived, he observed a Mitsubishi, which matched the description given in the parking lot, headed toward the nearby road. The officer initiated a traffic stop and made contact with the driver, the defendant. Officer asked the defendant if he was involved in a physical disturbance, and the defendant stated yes, that him and another individual got into a physical fight, and that he got into his car to separate himself and calm down. The defendant stated he was headed toward a gas station when he was stopped by the officer. While speaking to the defendant, the officer observed an odor of alcoholic beverage, glossy eyes, and slurred speech. The defendant admitted to drinking 2 beers, and standard field sobriety tests were conducted. A 6 out of 6 on the HGN, a 0 out of 8 on the walk and turn, a 0 out of 4 on the one-leg stand. The DIC was read and the defendant consented to a breath test. The results were a .103 and a .113.
Judge, I'm going to say no probable cause here because.
What's he doing wrong? He's like trying to get away from him. He's like doing the right thing. You know?
And probable cause doesn't exist. He's 0 for 6 on the walk and turn, 0 and 6 on the one-leg stand. There is no law in Texas that a person cannot drink. Just because he smelled alcohol does not mean the person is intoxicated.
Do we have anything that he's doing, you know? Tell me what led them to him.
Yes, sir. So what led to the investigation was a caller who reported the disturbance. The officer arrived and he observed a car which matched the description that the caller
That would be
gave.
like me calling and saying, hey, this guy did this over there. The cops go, no. I mean, theoretically, would be anyone could make a phone call, make an allegation, cops go boom and just stop, do whatever they want without, no probable cause.
Thank you, Judge.
Be careful, man. There's a lot of haters out there. Don't let them get you, you know? Life's too short. All right? All right. Good luck.
Gonna take advantage. He doesn't get prior.
Any prior DWIs?
I don't believe he's got any priors of any kind.
No. Good morning, Mr. Lozano. Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On February 7th, 2025, at approximately 10:08 p.m., the officer was dispatched to a major crash on the 200 block of South US 50 freeway in Harris County, Texas. The officer met with other officers at the nearby gas station where they had moved the scene. The rear witness stated she was rear-ended by the defendant and was able to put the defendant behind the wheel of the vehicle. The officer observed front-end damage to the defendant's vehicle, and the officer made contact with the defendant, the driver, and occupant of the vehicle. The officer observed slurred speech, staggering, and disorientation and confusion. The standard field sobriety tests were conducted, HGN 4 out of 6, walk and turn 4 out of 8, one-leg stand 3 out of 4. The defendant stated he did not drink any alcohol that day, and the defendant was read the DIC and refused to provide a breath specimen. A blood search warrant was signed and executed.
Williams?
The judge sounds like there's no probable cause because US 50 is not in Harris County, Texas. That's what the road they said it happened though.
Where is it?
It said US 50, that's not in Harris County.
And the DIMS does say 200 block of South US.
Are you serious? Do I need to look it up? I don't know.
Your Honor, the
I did.
DIMS further says during the scene of the accident, which occurred on 200 block of South US 59 freeway, Harris County, Texas. But counsel is correct that before they said he responded to a major crash call for service on the 200 block of South US 50 freeway. So they put 50, but then later in the DIMS, they did put 59.
All right.
So they're just two addresses, but Don't know why that's there. But they did say the accident occurred on US 59.
Well, that would be a different story.
Do you have any other evidence that is pointing to that it's at 59 or is it 50?
So, Your Honor, the only thing we have is that statement from the officer, which states that the accident occurred on 200 block of US 59 in Houston, Texas, 77004.
Is that what really happened or was it on 50?
So that's what I can explain is the officer put.
I'm not working on hunches here, man.
And I understand, Your Honor. The officer initially said he responded to a crash call for service, which occurred on US 50, but then later said the accident occurred on 59. So let me see if
Can't
we,
definitively point
I can-
where it is.
I'll check the OR and see if they clarify in the complete OR.
Yeah, he's very good on it.
And in the OR as well, the officer says, which occurred on 200 block of US 50, Houston, Texas, 77004.
So is 50, it's not in Harris County?
He switches between 50 and 59 in the offense report, chief.
I know, probable cause.
Yes, Judge, and we understand.
All right, Joe.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Mr. Lozano, be careful out there. You know what I mean? Really. Just listen to, he's great. He'll help you out whenever you need, you know? All right, man. Good luck.
Excuse, Judge. All right, I'll meet you in the hallway. Okay.